Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode on Chatroom with Claire. And as you all know, we are here to deliver informative stories by taking you through real life experiences. So my guest today is one person I'd call a strong woman. To me, a strong woman is someone who is able to identify her purpose, put hard work into that, and then work through that until she sees the results. And without further ado, I'd like to let my guest introduce herself. And
Hi everyone. Hi Claire. Thanks for having me on your show.
You're welcome.
My name is Nadine Shema. I am originally from Rwanda, but I was born in the Democratic Republic of Congo, grew up there. Only went to Rwanda when I was 16, high school. So I did my high school over there and my university degree. I have a medical background, actually. I did medicine in my university. And after that, I work as a doctor in my country, in Rwanda. However, throughout all my medical degree, I always had this heart for the vulnerables, the one who don't have the capacity or the ability to live a life the fullest due to different challenges. So I've been involved in different community work and charity work since my young age. And that's how I would say that made me shift a little bit about my career as a doctor. Then I had to move into public health. So I also worked as a public health professional in my country as well. So I was working for the Ministry of Health and the department, I would call it, it's now called RBC, Rwanda Biomedical Center. It used to be called TRAC. So there I was heading a program called Prevention of Mother-to-Child Transmission of HIV. So I worked there for quite a few years. And that opened up my I would say the doors for me to come to Australia, because I came here in Australia to do my master's, and I did a double master's into public health and health management. So after my master's, I went through, that's when I started, I would say, co-founded this organization called the Great Lakes Agency for Peace and Development with other fellows from the Great Lakes region of Africa who used to live here in Australia, especially in Sydney, in our city. And the reason of creating this organization is that I remember when I got this opportunity to come to study in Australia, I was so excited. Actually, Australia was among the countries that I would really, really wish to go and live in. Due to different things. And then, I got this opportunity. I got the scholarship. I was so excited. I was like, I think when I get there, I'll be happy to find the people who are there. And I was hoping to find them happy, fulfilled, living to the fullest. However, when I got here, I really kind of got disappointed a little bit because especially people from the Great Lakes region of Africa, as many people know, that region has been characterized by many conflicts, many wars, instabilities, and that has generated so many issues for people who came from that region. Of course, some got displaced, some became refugees, and some of them got resettled in Australia. However, all the conflict and the background that those people lived in, I would say that affected them negatively. You'd see people still having resentment against each other, hate, because of our history and our backgrounds. Mm-hmm. So that's how we came up with my colleagues to create this organization, and that's how the name came up, to create peace among these people. And as you know, I consider peace as something which is really holistic. Peace is not only the absence of the conflict. And to have peace, you have to be fulfilled in all spheres of life. And you can't develop unless you have that peace. So let's try to see if we can work together and help our fellow people from the Great Lakes region to create peace. And that's we didn't have any magic tablets or any solution, but we think that if we manage to get people together, sit, think, educate each other, think about our past, it would be like a way to create some reconciliation and understanding. Because I believe like many people would not really know why they hate each other, or why, because this one belongs to this ethnic group and this one belongs to this country, and there has been problems between these ethnic groups, there's been problems within these countries. You just feel like you hate that person. Even though you didn't know that person before, you just met here, in a new country full of opportunities. But you can't really live to the fullest because you have all these things in your head and, in your heart and in your thinking that are not really true. And at the end of the day, you find out they are really, really affecting your life. Yes, and then you would organize some conflict resolution workshops, understanding why people hate each other, why do we have conflict, how can we resolve our conflict, how can we talk to our so-called enemy, how can we talk to this person who is different from us. Yeah, I remember then we used to run a lot of workshops about that, and we'll have different organizations and facilitators helping us. It really helped a lot of people. And also the other thing that we were focusing more then was mental health, because we believe like the life that people went through really affected them mentally. And in our countries where we come from, mental health is not something that you really, really care for. And imagine people who went through the genocide, people who went through being displaced because of wars. All that brings its load of mental health issues. So also we will organize also some workshops and seminars about that. So we'll invite psychologists, counselors to come to talk to community people to understand what's mental health. And at the end of the day, people were like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, this is why I'm reacting like this, and this is why I'm doing this. Yeah, the effect of the mental health issues on people. And also, they'll also help us to know where to go to seek for help, for support. Or if I have a friend who is behaving in a way, to recognize that maybe this person should, I should help him or her to get help, or recognize this mental health into people. So different things, yeah. So I think those two activities were mainly what we focused on for the first few years after the establishment of this organization. And that was in 2012. And of course, we will organize also many community consultations to try to understand the issues of the people that are settling in a new country, to just help us know how to help people better. Yeah.
And before we get deeper into your organization, so we would like to know a little bit of your backstory. So you said, as you mentioned earlier, you moved from Congo to Rwanda at the age of 16.
Yes.
What was the reason?
Okay. Still the same background and histories about our region.
Okay.
So my parents are originally from Rwanda. But in early 70s, in 73, my parents at that time, I would say my father was already like working, yeah. And my mom was still in high school. However, because of the ethnic group, like the ethnic that they're part of then in my country, who were denied some rights in their countries. My mom was denied to study. She went to school one morning and found out they made a list of people who are not allowed to study anymore in that school. And my father, at his work, same thing happened. So in the Rwandan history, that is something that happened at that specific time, year, 73. And then what do they do? So that's how my mom and her family had to flee. They went to Burundi. And my father also had to flee, went to the Congo. But at that time, they were already like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah. So they kept the love burning, and until when my mom went to Burundi, finished her studies, and she came to join my dad in the Congo, and then they got married, and then we were born later on. So that's how I was born in the Congo.
Okay, so we understand that you have a medical background.
Yes.
And what you're doing right now, your organization is mainly based on asylum, helping asylum
Communities,
seekers, the communities, So why did you change your perspective of what you do?
Yeah. So that's what I was trying to explain a little bit before. My background is medicine. And I studied medicine. I worked as a doctor in my country. And I think it's that big heart of helping people at the same time, trying to help more people. As a doctor, of course, that was the only passion, like job I was thinking about doing when I was still young, because my mom was a nurse. I think I got it from her. And I was thinking that was a really good way of helping people, because I was always having this heart to help people. So when I was doing medicine, at the same time, where I was working in this hospital, I was also in charge of few other, I would call them primary health centers. They called health centers in my country. So I was also in charge of looking after people living with HIV. So maybe 2 days a week, I'll go into those health centers to look after people with HIV. And I think that's how it's also grew into me that, of course, HIV was a problem then, and that was a field that I was more involved in. And that's how I was like, okay, maybe it would be good if I move on and go into another position where I would make more improvement, more impact on these people. And that's how I moved into public health. Yeah. So I went into that organization, which was called TRAC then, but now it's RBC, in the HIV program. So in that program of mother-to-child transmission, that's where you just have to develop new guidelines so that we can have more women protected, having kids who are not not born with HIV, they are born free of HIV. So I was thinking that by going in that department and working there, making sure that we have more efficient guidelines, more people trained to look after people with HIV, it will make bigger impact of reducing the HIV in my country, and especially in the transmission from mother to children. So that's kind of looking at the bigger picture and helping more people at the same time. Instead of going to in the hospital and treating one person. So I was just thinking, and that's how that vision of myself growing and helping the community on a bigger scale started. And as I said, even when I was in university as well, we used to have programs that would go and help people in the remote areas to try to, come out from poverty and to try to develop themselves, build their capacities. So I always had this community kind of work heart in me since then. And that's how even when I arrived in Australia, when I was doing my master's, just 1 year after I arrived in Australia, that's where we started this organization. I was still studying, doing it part-time, or weekends when I have time. And as you know, setting up an organization is not very easy. And as I said, when I saw that all these people struggling here in this country, I was like, maybe I should do something. So that's how we started this organization with my other colleagues. Starting with building peace among ourselves, developing ourselves, and then at the end, that's how it's continued growing. Where we saw that there were not only issues that people came with, but there were also other issues here in the settlement program that people were receiving. Then they're like, okay, actually, it has to be bigger than just this. That's how we ended up becoming a settlement organization. So helping people newly arriving in Australia, being migrant refugees or asylum seekers, to help them settle smoothly in this new country. Because even the settlement itself comes with its own load of stress and trauma. Yeah.
So when did you arrive in Australia, and how was life for you adapting to the system here?
Yes. So I arrived in Australia in 2011. So it's been now 10 years.
Wow. Is it 10, 11?
Yeah, 11 years now. Yes. And actually, I even remember the day I arrived in Australia, 1st of February, 2011. Then it was not really stressful for me. The only thing that was stressful is that I came to Australia after like how many years? 4 years after I got married. So I had my husband and my kid that I left behind, but who were supposed to join me later as soon as I was like settled here. So what happened is, of course, I was really missing them a lot. With also uni work, it was really taking much of my time because I realized that the way of studying here was a little bit different.
True.
It's more like kind of independent. So you are the one to organize yourself to really learn what you're doing. And the good thing, I was speaking English, not as fluently as now, but which was also something that really helped me then. So what else? We had at the university, we had a very good, I would say like international student kind of program that were really helping us. So I didn't really have too much stress while I came. Of course, maybe because I was really busy as well with my studies. But yeah, I'm always like a people person. I really want to meet new people, especially when you're African. I want to know who you are, where you're from,
so you're
if you're
outgoing
okay and everything. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, and then it was very easy to meet more new people and integrate. Yeah.
So I was doing some research about your organization online, and you came up. So I clicked on your profile, and it took me straight to Twitter. And there it mentioned that you're the co-founder of this organization.
Yes.
So who's your partner?
So my partners are actually, when we started, there is a photo on our website. If you go on the website, there was this photo where we were in Canberra. We had gone for a meeting, and we were a team of like 8 people, if I remember, or 7. So we had people from the Congo, we had some people from Burundi and Rwanda. But unfortunately, you know, when we start something, everyone is excited. Let's start, let's do it. But at the end of the day, it's really challenging starting. Some people just got somehow not interested anymore, and others became busier, you know, and then some were not really looking the end of the tunnel of this thing. Then I was like, oh, we don't think we'll continue. So there is this photo there. If you go on the website, you'll see it. I don't know if you want me to tell you the names of the people.
We'll try to look for that. Yeah. If you can mention them, yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I really recognize the guy called Theophile.
Yeah.
Theophile Elongo is one of the co-founders of this organization. And I have very big respect for him because I think he's a visionary person. I think we should always appreciate people for the good things they do. Even though people are not perfect, they also have their weaknesses. But he's a very good visionary. He actually he came up with the vision of this organization, but unfortunately, after like a year when we started, he had to also go. But he's one of them. We have this guy called Ngenzi Everest. He's from Rwanda. Even him, few months after we started, he couldn't see where we were really going. But I really recognize them. Everywhere, I'll never say I'm the founder of this. I always say I'm the co-founder, because even though most of them didn't go further with this, but I really appreciate that we all had the same vision and the same passion by the time we started. And of course, we have another lady called Rosalia. And we also had another lady called Francine. We had another lady called, then I think, Antoinette. Yeah, we kind of lost touch, but I always, wherever they are, I just want to really appreciate the time they had working with us. Some of them we are still in touch. Some of them we still, you know, when we organize things, we always invite them and come and join us. So yeah, wherever they are, I just want to thank them, and I'm really appreciative of what we started together, and I always recognize the contribution.
Okay, so does that mean that among all your partners, you're the only one now who's running this organization?
Yeah, running, not running. There are other people who came after. Yeah. But with the people that we started, yeah, I would say I'm the only one who's still standing.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's good. You're really a strong woman. So yeah, just how long?
Because it came up with so many sacrifices.
Yeah. I know starting a business is not that easy. Yeah. So how old is your organization right now?
So our organization is 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we got registered by ASIC, which is an entity that's registered non-for-profit in the 25th of January 2012. Yeah.
So how do you get your funding as an organization?
As you know, that's how it's very hard. So we get funding from grants, mainly government grant, and we also get grant from philanthropists, like foundations. Yeah.
How many countries are you focused on right now?
Oh, now we have many countries. Actually, as I said, when we started, we only started with the countries of the Great Lakes, which are Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda. Uganda also was part of that, but mainly Rwanda, Burundi, Democratic Republic of Congo. But at the moment, we even included more countries, and we also we even signed an agreement with few community organizations to work together, most especially with for advocacy or for grants or for anything that we can do as Africans to have a louder or a bigger voice out there. So now we have, of course, we still have Congolese, Burundian, Rwandans, Kenyans, Ugandans, Somalians, Ethiopians, Eritreans, South Sudanese. Yes, I would say those are the ones that we have like partnerships with, and then most of our activities that we do, we're always working with them. And of course, we also have like some women's group which are not really focused on just one country. Some youth groups that are not also focused on one country, but more Africans. Yeah.
So approximately how many cases do you resettle in 1 year?
Oh, in 1 year, the program that we do, because as you can see there, we have different programs. We would say that we help more people who have been here for quite a few years. We've also helped people who have just arrived, because our organization doesn't receive any grant from the humanitarian program. That's the program that's help people who just arrived from refugee camps. However, even though we end up helping some of them who get referred to us by friends or by other organizations because they're African, they think, oh, you should go to that organizations. So we don't turn them down anyway. So we support them as much as we can. But I would say that so far, like people that we support, I'll call it support people, because we have different programs where we do. Not just helping them when they come, but we also help them in their everyday lives, you know. Every year, we will say that we support around like 150 people, but in different things. Yeah. We also have the Regional Resettlement Program, which is a program that we started in 2016, where we help people who live in big cities to be resettled in the regional or rural areas of Australia. And that's a program started after also consultations with communities, where we found that there were so many, I would say even majority, 70-80% of people who get resettled on humanitarian visa from refugee camps, most of them have many challenges that really hindered them to live in big cities and work in big cities and develop in big cities because of the low level of education. Some of them are not educated, or some of them are from agricultural background or farming background, and you can't do that in big cities as Sydney. So they were looking toward to go somewhere where they can still practice what they used to do in their own countries. So going regional was one of the solutions for them, sustainable solutions for them. And we've resettled at the moment, if I am correct, more than 250 people in in 3 different states. So New South Wales, Queensland, and Victoria. So we have different settlements. And our way of doing that, it's not that there is a farming or an agricultural opportunity here. Let's go. No. For us, we want to create communities in the regional areas. So we make sure that those settlements where these families go to live in are welcoming, are supportive, are looking after them, because we can't be there all the time. So we give the communities there take the responsibilities to continue helping and supporting and helping these families. So and we don't scatter them around, so we have settlement, different ones.
So you do it in groups?
Yes.
How many employees do you have currently?
Currently it always goes with the grant staff. That's the problem. Maybe you should ask me the question of the challenge with the grants.
Okay.
So the grant that we receive, they expire. So you always have a 1-year grant. Most of the grant that we get, they are 1-year grant. And of course, when we have the grants to support the people, we hire people. We hire case workers and support workers to help us look after the clients. And at the moment, precisely, it's the end of the year. It's the end of the year, and that's the challenge that we're having now, because the year has ended. So most of the contract of our staff has ended, but we look forward to have more grants next. Actually, we're already in July this year. This is a new year. And we look after. We hope to get more funding and then rehire them. But at a certain point, in last 2 months, we had that altogether 6-7 staff. And 7 staff, 2 full-time and 4 more who were part-time. Most of the case workers working 3 days, 4 days a week.
Okay. So
but at the moment, all the contracts are finished. We are only 2 of us working at as the managers of the organization, but we look forward to rehire our staff next month.
So
this month, July.
So this month. Okay. What's your biggest achievement so far?
Our biggest achievement is to see most of the clients that we supported to be happy and fulfilled and living the life they're supposed to live in this country. Because many were not really, I would say, many of them were not happy. Many of them were not, because of the lack of the supports and the guidance, they were not really living to their fullest. And I would say that if you're going to see the numbers of people who are now employed, who used to be employed for a long time, if you want to see people who, especially for those ones who have moved to regional areas, being settled there, starting to buy houses, starting thinking about investing, and I would say that would be the point where you can say, now this person is fulfilled, or he's achieving big things. Also people learning new things, and yeah, creating more vibrant communities, seeing now people working together, those resentment and those hatred that used to be there before fading away. People even forgot about them, and being one big, African community, which is there to help each other, support each other, and move forward together. Yeah.
And we understand that you have a family.
Yeah.
And as one of the heads of this organization, we understand that the higher the rank, the more responsibilities you have.
Yes.
So how do you juggle between the two?
I would say I'm very lucky to have a good, stable, loving family.
Yeah.
So I have my husband and 2 boys. One is 14 and another one is 8. And as you know, in these countries, we really have to help each other. And especially when you have a couple that you understand each other, you love each other, you support each other, things become very easy. And as the kids have grown now, it's not that much responsibility of, now you can tell them you do this and I do this, and they can help around the house. They can, look after themselves. It's not like when you have small babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just organize everything around, especially the house stuff with as a family, your husband and your kids. And also for the work here that we do as well, having good co-workers and having a good culture in the company. It's not like there's anyone policing on each other. Why are you late? Why didn't you do this? And we are here to help.
True.
We are not here to help to make money. It's not a business where we have to have like targets of achieving millions of dollars a year or things like that. We are here to make sure the clients who come through our doors are served, are happy, get what they want, and we help them to the best of our ability, and we see them coming sad and getting out, happy and with a smile on their face. Yeah.
So what's the future of your organization, and what should people expect in the coming years?
So what we're really striving for is to be bigger, especially financially. So we're trying to see if we can we are advocating to see if we can have like continuous funding, so that we can have more staff and more people coming to us, and where we can even include everyone coming to us, where we can welcome everyone, especially African. So our main target is Africans, because I believe that to be well helped, it's to have like the culturally and the linguistically appropriate service provided to the person, So I've seen it a few times. Sometimes we have students in placement here. So people who are doing university, who are completing the master's degree or bachelor degrees in social work, community services. So when they come here, because most of our clients, as I said, they are from Africa. So those who have worked here, being African, they've learned a lot compared to the others who couldn't speak the language of our clients or couldn't know the culture of our clients. It will be always hard for them, because clients, when they come here, and that's why I think most of them like it, because most of our staff can speak their language, they can express themselves, they can talk about the issues, they are with people who know them, who share the same background, who can understand them better, So our dream is just to have a big organization with all that culture diverse staff who can help more people, and also expand our programs even in the other states. Maybe that will still a 5 year okay. term.
Yeah.
But even later, we want even give back to our communities back in Africa. Yes. Yeah. To see how we can even do some programs and outreach our African people who are there.
So would you mind sharing your organization's social media pages?
Yes. So it's all our social media. It's Great Lakes Agency for Peace and Development. So if you click it, so we have a Facebook page, we have an Instagram page, we have Twitter accounts, we have a YouTube channel, and what the other one?
So what do you
and the
showcase on
LinkedIn
YouTube?
as well.
Like what do you showcase on YouTube?
So on YouTube, if you go on your YouTube, actually I will ask people to go on your YouTube because it hasn't been there for a long time, but we have quite a few good videos which explains about all our programs, what we do. As I said, we have regional settlement program, we have migrant services program, we also do domestic and family violence program. I didn't talk about it, but that is part of our migrant services program. So we have very good educational videos on our YouTube channel, and also we are trying to translate them in different African languages as well. So as soon as they are ready, we'll also put them there. We also have different other initiatives that we have. We have a computer school. I don't know if you can see here, we have some computers. We have also a driving school. So we have different programs to build the capacity of Africans to be able to strive and, be, confident and fit in and integrate. Yeah,
so as we wind up, the main purpose of this show is to provide inspiration to other Africans who are abroad. Life can be so tough, you don't know where to start from. So I just want you to look at the camera and give an inspiration message to the Africans watching you right now.
Yeah, so my message to all Africans, I believe that everyone deserves the best. Despite all our challenges, despite all our issues, our backgrounds, our, many things that we went through, everyone is capable, and it's possible for everyone to achieve their best. So the only thing I have to advise everyone, have trust in yourself. And if you feel that you have some weaknesses, try to learn. Try to educate yourself. If you think that you need some skills that you don't have, go for it. We have the opportunities of having free courses, free opportunities to study here in Australia. Go for it. And the other thing, look for mentors. There are people who have gone before you, who have achieved things. Don't be scared of, approaching someone in whom you see some potential, and ask them to help you. Ask them to guide you. Ask them to, to hold your hand and show you the way. I know sometimes it makes people feel, it's diminishing me or something. But I think it's very good. It's very good to learn from the best, and don't let anything hold you back. If, for example, some people just feel, because I'm African, because I'm black, because I'm, no, you can achieve everything, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And let's support each other. That's another thing. Let's support each other. If you think you are capable of doing something, try to put your hand out there and let people, know that what you do. Actually, I appreciate you, Claire, for doing this kind of interviews or shows. This will help people to know that there are people who are ready to help others. And it will also showcase the contribution of African in this country, because some people might think that, African can't achieve things. And I believe that's why I was asking you earlier. You need to go. We have lawyers, we have doctors, we have engineers, we have people who've done big things, entrepreneurs. So that also will inspire those who are still thinking that African can't achieve much in this country. Yeah.
Wow, that's a very strong message. And I believe Africans are doing great things out there. We just needed a platform to showcase all this stuff. Yeah, and thank you so much for your time today. I know it's on a weekend and there's bad weather, but we appreciate your efforts today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so thank you so much to the viewers for sticking with us until this point. I hope you've had a great time interacting with this beautiful woman, Dr. Nadine Shema. And I've been your host, Claire Chelule. Until next time, I'll see you guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.